Hey YouTube, Zogyo here, and in 2015 the NASA probe New Horizons did a flyby around Pluto where it took some spectacular images of the dwarf planet, and to get here it needed to travel 4.67 billion kilometers. So because of this, you might think that Pluto is the hardest planet in the solar system to get to, but this is actually false. The answer may seem counterintuitive because the answer is Mercury. This might not make sense because Mercury is 88 million kilometers away right as of now, not 4.67 billion. So why does it take so much more to get to it? Well, delta V is the main reason here, and delta V is a measure of how much a spacecraft can accelerate. So if a rocket has 10 kilometers a second of delta V, that means if it were to start in a vacuum, it could accelerate by 10 kilometers a second before it would have used up all of its fuel. And if we look at the delta V required to get to Pluto, it's about 12 to 14 kilometers a second, which is a lot, of course, but Mercury requires about 15 kilometers per second of delta V, and this is because it's so much nearer to the sun. And the way that you get to Mercury is unlike Pluto, where you just blast off and keep accelerating. You actually have to use your fuel to slow down, because while your spacecraft is in a position comparable in distance to the sun as the Earth is currently, it needs to slow down by 15 kilometers a second before the lowest point of its orbit, its periapsis, will line up with Mercury. And because it's the hardest planet, as I've said, in the solar system to get to from Earth, that's why in the over half a century that we've had spaceflight for, there have only been 2 missions to Mercury.